Hey everyone, it's Dabacabb here. A while ago I had a match in Temple of Anubis that made me ponder the question, are there times when it's actually bad to deal damage to the enemy team? And I think the answer to the question might actually be yes. So to set the stage, we were in a Temple of Anubis on the attacking team, and we had captured point A and we were trying to capture point B, but we were just hitting our heads against the wall. Because what would happen is we didn't have any flankers who could reliably get behind enemy lines and deal with their healers. So what happened every time is we would engage the enemy team and the Mercy would scuttle away and hide like a cockroach at the first sign of danger. And then when the fight started to go in our favor, she would pop out and get like a 3 or 4 man res, and then they would wipe up the rest of us. So I was trying to get the team to coordinate and deal with the Mercy. You know, we gotta kill the healer, we gotta kill the healer, but it just wasn't happening. So I remember at one point during the match, we sort of like, okay, everyone, let's just go in. We'll all have our ults, and we'll just have to coordinate like that. So we grouped up and we went in, and we sort of had like a scuffle kind of near the choke point, and 2 of our people died. So we were like, withdraw. Let's pull back. So the 4 of us who survived pulled back while we waited for the other two to spawn. And while I was waiting for while I was waiting for my teammates, I was sort of struck by the behavior of my allies, because my other 3 allies who were alive were, dancing around at that big door at the choke point at Temple of Anubis, trying to deal damage to the enemy team. And in that situation, I think that was actually the wrong move. I think what they were doing was actually hurting our cause, because in that situation, it's very hard to get a kill at that distance. You're much more likely to just hit someone once or twice, and then they'll take cover and get healed up, and then so you're just sort of trading and exchanging damage, and neither side's really just confirming any kills. You're just sort of both building charge. But our team already had charge. We already had our ults because we were coordinating a push. So in that situation, what I think we were really doing is we'd have we had a Reinhardt, and the Reinhardt would hang out at the door with the shield up. And they were plinking with the shield, which in one way is bad because it damages the shield, so it might not be ready during the push that we need to make in any second when our allies arrive. But more importantly, when his shield, when his cooldown was off, he would fire strike into the enemy team. Now, every time he did this, he lowered his shield, which means the enemy team hit him a little bit. So what effectively happened was he dealt 100 damage to maybe 1 or 2 people, often none. They dealt damage to him with their hit scan weapons, which were much more reliable than fire strike. So they gained charge. He didn't gain any charge because, he already had max charge. And then on top of that, the Mercy, the core reason why we were struggling so much in that game, was building charge off of the heals. So I think the right play there would have actually been to just take cover and just hunker down and hide, because there's just no real gain to harassing in that situation. Yes, it's possible that we could have gotten a kill, and I think that if you're a character like Widowmaker or McCree, Pharah, any sort of like high burst, high damage character that can reasonably expect to get a kill at that sort of long to mid range distance, and so at that point, if a Pharah and a Widowmaker can manage to coordinate their attacks and both hit a character at the same time and get a kill, then at that point, it's very reasonable, because, when your teammates arrive, suddenly it's a 6v5, so you can roll in, pop your 6 ults, and you can probably take the point. But I think that that's something that characters need to learn. Let's suppose you're a Roadhog, okay? If you're Roadhog in that situation, you've got a full ult. You're waiting for teammates to arrive so you can all push to the point. If you're stuck at that choke point of Anubis, don't peek so you can right click. Yeah, your right click will do a little bit of damage, but what's more likely is you're just going to feed the enemy charge, and you're going to feed especially the enemy healer charge. Other characters like Mei, Zarya, just don't bother with it. You don't have the long range effectiveness that characters like Widowmaker or Pharah do. So just spare yourself. Just take cover and wait. Here, this is the perfect example. I've got these teammates, but they quickly die. So now it's just basically just me and some enemies. The Genji goes off and dies on his own. So like, I'm not gonna reasonably get any kills against like 3 or 4 people who are coming after me, but I'm still sort of stubbornly trying to harass them. And what's the point? I've got full charge. All I did was I give Soldier like 120 damage worth of charge. What did that gain me? I didn't come close to getting any kills. Soldier gained charge, so he's more likely to have it ult in his next engagement. And that's on top of the charge that the healer gained from healing the 1 or 2 shots that I managed to land. So, like, you see what I mean? It's just, if you've got full charge and you can't get a kill, don't shoot. You're not helping yourself. So that's just a tip to keep in mind. I think that sometimes in FPS games we can get so like tunnel visioned into focusing on dealing damage that we don't ever stop to think that, hey, is there actually a bad side to dealing damage? Is there a reason why I shouldn't be shooting these people? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is, no, I should absolutely be shooting people. Of course it's good to deal damage to them. But, just I encourage you to think about situations a little bit more, I guess, logically and strategically, because sometimes, if you've got full charge and you don't have the weapon to deal damage at full range, just don't peek, man. There's no point to it. There's no gain. So let me know what you think. Do you think that I'm wrong about this? Do you think it is always a good idea to deal damage on the off chance that you get a lucky kill? Or do you think that there are situations where, yeah, you should just forget it, say it's not worth it, and stay behind cover? All right, well, thanks for watching. Dabacabb out.